I don't know who need to hear this, but girl, it's your season. What are you doing? If not you, then who? Girl, get out your head.
Scripture. This scripture, I have three scriptures. It's based on the same thing. I'm about to speak about the woman who killed Abimelech in my High Heels to a Perfect Woman. And it talks about, reaping what you sow, or karma, or getting back your trouble or your evil from what you've given. So here in Job 4:8, Job is saying, as I have observed, those who plow evil and those who sow trouble reap it. So not only do I have to sow trouble, but I can plow trouble. I can pluck up trouble. I can be around trouble and still reap the benefits of trouble. And the Bible speaks a lot about that, sowing what you reap, reaping good, being a producer, not a choker or a taker. It talks about a lot about farming and having the green thumb and growing, because those things that you sow are going to be the things that you grow, and sometimes the things that you pluck up will be the things that you have. And that's what this scripture is talking about. Don't live a life of trouble or a life of evil and expect to receive the good or favor of the Lord. The next scripture is the same like unto it. Proverbs 11:27. Whoever seeks good finds favor, but evil comes to one who searches for it. If you seek out evil, you'll receive it. If you seek out good, God will favor you. He will bless those. He will not withhold anything good or anything great from his children. The Bible talks about the gifts. Will he not give you good gifts? He's a father of Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham. He's the Lord of our generation. So he's going to give us good. If we sow and reap and seek and search out for good and do good, we'll receive good of the land. And you just have to be close with God to understand what he's doing in those seasons. But if you seek evil and you search it out and you live a life of that, or you do things to receive that, that's what you will get back. And someone may say like, oh, well, sun shines on the just and the unjust, or it rains on the just and the unjust, or there's nothing new under the sun, so the same stuff is happening. But that's not exactly what that Bible is saying, because God is not contradictory of anything that he says or any of the books of the Bible. So everything goes along with what he's saying and what he's doing in each season. And he talks about seasons and sowing and reaping and being a farmer, because those things that you produce, those things that you work towards, that's what you will receive in the end. Matthew 5:45, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. I see this scripture often, and I always think of how I might be in deep prayer, and I might not. It could be just a regular day and I'm just feeling good, and I walk outside and it seems like the sun is shining a little bit brighter. Now, mind you, was the sun shining brighter before I walked out? Probably so, and I just walked out. However, it's the same sun that you're going to wake up to tomorrow. That same sun that's, there, and the planets are orbiting. It's the same sun. It's not going to change. And that's what this scripture is saying. Like, it's going to be the same sun, but are you going to be just, or are you going to be unjust? In Florida, it could rain. I actually saw this. It rained in the front yard, and I walked to the back of the building, and it wasn't raining. And then we went out for lunch, and it was pouring down raining, and we get back to the building, and it's the same way, raining a little bit in the front and not in the back. So that means that this same rain can come down on both of us, but we both can have a different experience under this same sun and in this same rain. It could be a storm for you and not raining for me, a little bit of rain for her. We're all on the same earth, probably receiving a different experience. But if you seek out good, you'll receive good in the land. And that's pretty much what the Bible is speaking about. Like, we're all under the same sun. We can all be under the same roof doing the same thing, and we'll receive the same thing. But if we're under the same roof doing a different thing, we'll have different happenings. And that's why it says a house divided against itself, it will not stand, because we'll be doing different workings, and we'll be receiving different productivity. We'll be producing different seeds. So that's pretty much what God is saying about that. That's why he says, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. His sons of God, they look the same. The Bible never contradicts it. We all are just like him, made in his image. You are created that way. You don't have to do any workings other than believe and confess that you believe and, be baptized, all that. But once you do all that, you are already destined, and dominion was already set for you to be saved and receive the good of the land. It's just, what are you doing to prevent that? Are you making another little one sin? Are you making another Christian sin? Are you producing evil? You know, like Apostle Paul, he was going against the grain, then he decided to come back towards to it. Did bad things happen? No, they were teachings that help you and me today, and God was working on him with that, and he produced an amazing apostle. So I just want to tell you guys that that's my scripture today. It was a mouthful, but much love. Be blessed, guys.